I'm in my studio. It's Friday, the 25th of March, and I have to work on that painting. I feel overwhelmed, and I have been working on it so long that it's sometimes hard to get back to working on it. I see things I need to do, but it's getting the energy to do it. I've made myself a hot chocolate. Don't you love this little mug? It's made by Diane, the ceramicist that's right across the hall from me. It's adorable. It's like a little sweater with little buttons around a mug. And it makes me happy. And I'm watching a YouTube video about people opening presents. Oh, that's Diane. I hear her in the hallway. Anyways, if I'm going to be truthful about Artist Diaries, I have to talk about these days when I'm sitting here really staring at my painting and like taking notes. And I was talking with a friend this morning about, okay, when it's really hard to get to your studio and you just don't want to go, or you want to start something new, I just go, okay, I just need to do 3 strokes that I'm going to be happy with. Only 3, and that's fine. If I can get the momentum and things go okay, then maybe I'll keep painting on it and stuff, but I just have to get over that first hurdle because I am so craving just working on something else. So craving that. I absolutely love these little cauliflower chicken pot pies. They're like comfort food. Great for when you have to bring lunch to your studio. And I'm gonna make myself some more hot chocolate. Chocolate is my best friend today. It's the next day, Saturday morning, Winston-Salem. Very quiet here, especially in the mornings. It should get a little bit busier. I feel much more positive today. Much more positive. Yesterday I felt a little bit gloomy. So there's my car. This is what the street looks like. Very quiet. There's a little entrance. I used to have my stuff out here. This is kind of like an open area for people who are in the building. Okay. Down here has looked different over the years. Gosh, it's so quiet. I'm the first one here, I guess. But no, I felt much better today. Changing my mind about coming to the studio and what it means. And changing my mind about forcing working on stuff, just to work on stuff. Oh, didn't open it correctly. That whatever I get done, and to enjoy it. To really enjoy it. When you put pressure on yourself, things usually don't work out that well. So my plan today is to make some tea, stare at my painting. I did a few things that I liked. The mirror in the upper left-hand corner, I had been painting over and over again and making it too literal. So just kind of like the things that I talk to people I mentor. See how I come down here and oh, you can see me in the mirror. Being too literal to the photograph. And I decided to just completely change that mirror because it had a huge, kind of like a shiny spotlight, because the mirror had this strong light on it. And I just decided to make it flat, and it helped so much that it wouldn't come forward, because there was a mirror behind her to the left, and it had a highlight, and I kept painting it in and out and in and out and in and out. So I think you guys probably can commiserate with me. Finally, yesterday, I just decided that, no, I'm just going to change the mirror. See how I come in? It's like my little routine. Turn all my lights on. Okay, make it a little bit more homey down here so it's not so dark. And I don't know how long I'll stay. Today, it's a Saturday. I feel even a little bit of pressure in my chest just thinking about what I'm going to do today, but work on her face, work on the headband on her face, do little bits here and there, but just as long as I can put a few strokes in that I like and leave and know that they're going to stay and not be repainted tomorrow, that's a win. Work on her hair, the headband, her hair. Okay. I also am deciding if I'm going to actually change. She's holding like white carnations, and I painted them in and out and in and out. I think I might change the color of them. I think they're not working. Okay. You know, coming down to the studio, it's a little bit like Groundhog's Day. So I have to change it up, and I have to just be like, put my apron on, get my little coat off. I like putting my apron on. I like putting my visor on. Makes me feel like I'm gonna work on another frame. So this is another frame that God, this frame's old, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful frame. You know, it has these nice corner ornaments. It's about, I'd say, 4.5 inches wide. It's gold leaf. It just doesn't have like the distressing. So I did take a little bit of sandpaper, and you can see I just started to kind of rub a little bit because it was so flat all over. And so a little bit of sandpaper. I'm gonna maybe put a wash, but I'll show you guys what I do with that. But I have so many frames to work on. I feel it in my chest. But it's going to be a good day. I know it. I'm only going to do little bits and leave my strokes, make them very painterly. I have to upload a video that Scott did for Patreon today because we have much better internet here. So I come down here to upload videos because our house is just too slow. So that's what I'm going to do first, is upload his video, all while making tea and staring at my painting and sending my painting love. Okay, all right. I wasn't able to come to my studio yesterday because I was doing Zooms at home and I had some computer stuff. Scott came and uploaded some stuff down here because, like I said, this is better internet than at our house. And he came home and told me, it's funny too because he gets kind of nervous when he is, it's not common for him to critique me. I think in general he's always overly complimentary of my work, and but no, he said that he really had something to talk about in his painting. And I kind of was talking to you about this upper corner. So in the reference, this is a mirror, and it was reflecting these objects, and I had kind of painted them in, I painted them out. I had the amount of time that I took working in that upper left-hand corner, and I think you guys can probably, understand, is that, we have this thing about being literal to the reference. I even have a little bit of anxiety talking about it because I know how much time I've spent repainting things. And there was like a really strong highlight, which was kind of neat in the photograph, but I had such a hard time painting it. How bright to do it, how sharp to do it, was it conflicting with her face? And then finally, a couple days ago, I think I told you guys, I literally was just going to paint it out. And even in my reference, I went into Photoshop and I sort of just kind of toned down, made it look like almost like it would be a flat frame around the mirror. And then Scott says, I think you need to just paint the mirror out completely. And honestly, I was like, oh, wow, it stunned me a little bit because I was wrapping my head around it because it was a good idea. I tell this to a lot of people when I give critiques to them about, sometimes you have to sacrifice a section of the painting for the whole. And even if you've been working on it for a long time, sometimes it's best just to kind of completely get rid of it. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna completely just make this look almost like it's fabric coming down. And he also told me that he thought I should darken this fabric behind her head. It's funny because I'm sure you guys do this too. Whenever I critique people, I was like, oh, well, I think this needs to be darker or lighter. And they say, oh, I just had it like that yesterday and I changed it. And it's because we're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to problem solve. And if only, why does it take so many steps? But I really had to wrap my head around the fact that it's going to be okay. Not that I don't mind painting this out. It's the whole idea of the fact of witnessing myself, seeing that I paint tentatively, that I'm, fudging or kind of creeping up to things. And then why don't I have more guts? Why can't I just change things, Maybe I'll slightly darken this. I had this darker down here. Maybe I'll darken it again. It's tricky. And I had these two bigger paintings that I really wanted to get done for a deadline. I pretty much decided that I don't think the other one I'd have time. This one now, I'm starting to wrap my head around the ideas, well, maybe I won't have this one in time. And it's okay because I would prefer to be really proud of my paintings, and I'd prefer to not rush things. So those are curious emotions that you get when you're, as you paint and paint and paint for years, you start to make tough decisions. And possibly I will work on this for a few days more and then maybe decide that it's not ready to send to my deadline. Who knows? maybe things will work out and maybe what I do today will be perfect. So we'll see. Okay, I gotta get ready. I just downloaded the audiobook about Marie Antoinette. I'm pretty excited. I love listening to Charles Dickens historical novels. So that's always a great thing. I know that if I have a great book, then it will be a much more pleasant experience. So I'm excited. And I've also decided I'm going to paint for a while without my glasses. I think it's going to help me not think about details. When you look at the image on my monitor, you will see that the white plaster casts in the reference are so much brighter. I chose not to paint those as bright because they're just too white. And this is an actually unedited kind of Photoshop version of this photo. The photo I worked from, I burnished and I grayed down those plaster casts a lot in that. But I'm wanting to go back because I think that mirror I told you guys about, I went in Photoshop and I actually darkened it because there was such strong highlights in that mirror. It was confusing me and I spent so much time painting it, repainting it, painting it, that I'm just going to take my advice that I give so many others and just change it and not paint it literal. So I'm going to just not use my glasses for a while, which softens everything. Okay, I'm going to turn on my audiobook. I'm going to start to mix some of my paints, put out new paint, have some tea, and work as long as I feel good. And when I start to feel tired, when I start to get frustrated, I'm going to stop. And as I get older, I'm just gonna learn how to do that better and better and better. So you can tell up here, I completely painted that out. I went a little bit darker over here. I kind of put a wash over the whole bottom. Now I'm starting to kind of get a little bit darker right there. Yeah, I put a little bit of warmth over her shirt. I mean, I felt pretty nervous painting on this today because it kind of, you know, you're sort of throwing out a lot of, I guess the idea of painting realistic, completely just being crazy about it. I hope I feel okay about it tomorrow when I show up. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. I have to clean up my palette because I have to go somewhere, so I can't stay more time today. Hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully I'll like it tomorrow.